Hello. This is H.H. Rune, and I thought I would read a page or two of my book, too. This is from the second book, and this is about Adelma, who lives in an assisted living with a number of other fabulous people. Adelma was excited for the little book club. The first meeting would showcase the little traveling book. She envisioned a special way to invite them. She would handwrite the invitations for each of them. Then they could read the book together and share experiences from their own lives just for fun. She'd name their group the Bonita Butterflies. Bonita to signify beauty and a butterfly to signify a lovely new beginning. Adelma took her time writing out the handmade cards she had planned for her friends on the third floor. She was still getting used to writing with her left hand, but she had made good progress, and her writing was legible. Fanciful butterfly stickers, one of Angel's gifts to inspire healing, were placed on the front of each of the cards after Adelma had written a small message inside. She signed her first name on the bottom of each note. Her new signature had a new strength that showed what she had been through. She wrote the name of each person on the back of the card and used tape to hold it closed. No envelope. It would be fine. Easier to open for old arthritic hands anyway. The little book had brought up so many memories for her that she wanted to share, and it might inspire her friends as well. She wheeled her chair down the hall after dinner service, knocking softly on each door belonging to a friend. She wanted to keep the group small so it was manageable, and picked the ones she knew read books. The first door was Mrs. Nancy Shellcock's. Nanny is what she liked to be called, and Adelma knew she would be taking her time to answer. Not only was she hard of hearing, she was rather slow and would often drift off after eating. She knocked again and was about to try to lean down to slide it under her door when she answered. Nanny peeked out a sliver in the opening before opening it fully and offering a smile. "Well, Adelma, what a nice surprise. Would you like to come in?" She motioned into her unit. "Not this time, my dear, but I have something for you. I hope you can come." Nanny turned the card over to see a blue butterfly sticker on the front. She ran her finger over it and said, "Oh, I do love blue. I'm sure I will be available." She smiled again. "Thanks for stopping by." Nanny rarely had visitors at sunny days as her family lived on the West Coast. One nephew from North Carolina would be coming at Christmas time, but it would be months again still for that. It was good for her to have something to look forward to. Adelma rolled and knocked her way down the hallway. Sally Rubenstein in 3A got a green butterfly sticker. Mary Johnson in 3F received an orange one, and Jillian Holloway got a purple one. Each was delighted to have their favorite color remembered by their thoughtful friend. Saffron Jones got a yellow butterfly sticker and was especially touched to be invited, as she had only just moved in. All the women were delighted to have been visited by the mysterious Bonita Butterfly Book Club bandit that night, and all RSVP'd the next morning at breakfast, whispering in Adelma's ears that they would be attending. Adelma had arranged with the kitchen staff to have some goodies and coffee available for the evening. Hazel was especially nice to help set up the library to have a circle where they could all visit and see each other and hear about the book. Adelma was one of Hazel's favorite residents. Adelma's crooked smile hadn't dulled her luminous spirit. "I can stay," Hazel offered, explaining that she could help clean up afterwards, as she tried to hide her huge curiosity about the secret meeting. Hazel anticipated a lot of stories and giggles could come from these fabulous old women, and she had no one at home waiting for her. "Well, if you're sure, that would be lovely," Adelma accepted. "You never know when one of us could laugh so hard we could tumble out of a chair or something." Adelma laughed as her lip caught on her teeth. "Wonderful. I can sit in the back and be on alert," Hazel reassured her. Hazel didn't have anyone waiting for her at home, and this evening might give her some insight into activities that the residents would enjoy if she was chosen for the activities coordinator job she was applying for. It was 6:30, and the women streamed into the facility library, gathering around the snack table set with cups of Milo sweet tea and lemonade and plates of moon pies. Each woman tried to guess which book might be chosen to read. Still holding their plates, they gathered in a circle, and Adelma clapped to get their attention. "My Bonita Butterflies, I have brought you here today to share something special. It is something of a mission for us, as well as a great conversation starter. I hope some of the stories inside this book will help you reach into your own memory banks to remember many of the people that have meant something to you. Many people that you loved or cared about, both living and dead. Maybe people that you cared about, both living and dead. My daughter brought me this book to share with you, and the author needs our help. She has a dream. Her request has landed in our laps, and I would like us to work together to see if we can help her." The women looked around at each other. "Us?" said Saffron. "She needs our help?" "Well, yes. She needs everyone who comes into contact with the book to read it and pass it along until someone recognizes themselves in her pages." My, how wonderful to be needed for something again," said Nanny Shellcock. "How exciting," said Jillian, clasping her hands together. Hazel looked on as each woman smiled at the thought of a new purpose. Many had seen their families grow up and move on, and a few had ended their long professional careers many years ago. To see their eyes lit up and engaged, what a delight. Adelma held up her book with her left hand. "Here it is. We could all go around the room reading the excerpts out loud. They are short memories written by the mysterious author." There were some grimaces in the group as no one felt comfortable reading aloud. For some, it had been more than 50 years since reading to their own children. "I don't think I can," said Nanny, her eyes falling some, to stare at her swollen, sore hands lying in her lap. She lacked the strength to hold up a book or fuss with the pages. "Me either," said Saffron. "My eyes just aren't what they used to be, even with these thick corrective lenses." Adelma was crestfallen. She hadn't planned for this, and she certainly didn't want to read the whole book out loud herself. Hazel stood up. "I'll do it. I worked at a library for years, and I read to the little ones on Saturdays. I will do it if you want me to. It would be my pleasure." Joyous sighs and smiles spread across the room. "Oh, yes," said Nanny. "Lovely," said Mary. "Hazel, that would be wonderful. A real LaJoya you are." Hazel nodded at Adelma with her understanding of the compliment. Jewel. Hazel stepped forward and retrieved the book from Adelma, moving her chair into the circle where she could see everyone. She opened to the first page and started to read the heartfelt request from the author. "Dear reader, this traveling book is my secret mission to live a more extraordinary life from within the confines of an ordinary one. Only 5 copies of this book exist, and this has made its way to you. You are now and forever a part of this story. Inside, you will find moments captured from one person's life. Each passage starts with a set of initials of the person with whom I share the connection. We are all connected on some level. Every person you meet leaves a mark on you, whether good or bad. Often, it is the worst people who gift us the best lessons. It is my hope that this idea spurs you into living in a more extraordinary way, to think bigger and reach beyond what you currently see. The memories inside may remind you of a time or a person in your own life. May you think of those people today for the good or the lessons you learned from them. Please read this book, then write your name and location in the back before giving it to someone else. Leave it on a bus, give it to a friend. It will only take a few minutes for you to participate, and it is wonderful to think of the adventures it may have. Let's see how small our world really is. If you, by chance, recognize yourself in here, please bring the book and find me." The stunned women started nodding and murmuring in anticipation. "Well, are you ready?" asked Hazel. A resounding yes came from the group, and Hazel read on. The women quieted, and a few adjusted their hearing aids to hear her better. After the book was done, they spent the rest of that evening taking turns telling stories about their own lives. For some, it was the first time since moving to Sunny Days that they shared anything about themselves. There was talk of first loves and family member drama or losses. A few had been widowed, and each had been touched by the book in some way. A story inside made them remember something they hadn't thought of in years. Stories of starting a family or building a business. Each shared where they were born, went to school, and married. Nancy surprised the bunch by sharing that she had worked in an airplane factory in California during World War II to help the effort, before Saffron shared that she had once dreamed of playing baseball on an all-female baseball team in the middle 50s. Emotions and memories that had been hidden inside them all for so long came out to play together. They felt as free as the little children running loose on the school grounds. Laughter and happiness filled the room, and some tears, stemming from both joy and sadness, were shed. The room bubbled up with the effervescence of life itself. Each one of them felt sorry for the author, who might be sitting home waiting for life to happen to her. Each woman proclaimed that they believed they had fully lived every single day of their lives. A few shared small regrets, mostly of staying in one place for so long, for so much of their life, or of not going for a big job. Maybe they had listened to their parents about who they should love. How wonderful it was to be together and have this moment and this book to bring them closer. Because of the book, there would be more topics to chat about and think about for the rest of their days. They agreed that the book club and sharing about their wild ride lives was a much better way to spend their time instead of complaining about the cafeteria food. Each wanted to have some time with the book to absorb the pages themselves. Then they could leave the book in the resident library for others to find it. Many others might like to read it and reflect as well. After clearing the plates and putting the chairs where they belonged, Hazel hugged each of the women before leaving them for the day. She placed the book gently on Adelma's lap and waved once more as she went. The new group, the Bonita Butterflies, stayed in the room, talking and laughing together for hours, until the evening staff came in and said it was time to lock up the library for the day. Nancy Shellcock asked to have the first turn with the book, and Adelma handed it over. Nancy leaned down and gave her friend a squeeze. A new, magnificent friendship had begun for all of them.